Hey everybody, welcome, welcome to Hidden Horror. Thank you for spending this time with me. I appreciate that. Let's get started. Hey everybody, welcome to Hidden Horror. How are you guys doing today? So today I'm here to talk to you a little bit about the Sean Combs prosecution in New York for the alleged sex trafficking case, the racketeering case against him. You guys know I don't like to talk about this subject matter, but I do want to cover some of the trials. So I found a daily recap on Fox 5 Atlanta. Thank you, Fox 5 Atlanta, for sharing the details for you following the trial on a daily basis and sharing that information out to the public since the trial is not being televised. So I'm going to go through days 1 through 7. It's going to be a quick recap just to keep you up to date. If you want to find more in-depth coverage, there is a plethora on YouTube of other content creators that are going to the trial and they're giving you a daily, more extensive recap. I'm not going to do that. I did not want to cover the trial, but I do think it's good to just go over some of the witnesses and their testimony. So let's get started. Today we're going to do days 1 through 7. Okay. The link is on the Hidden Horror Facebook page if you want to check it out. Okay. I think it would be nice. They have some really nice artwork. If you want to see some of that artwork from the artists that are drawing the pictures of the activity in the courtroom, you can check out the link. It's really nice artwork. I'm mainly going to just have a picture of Mr. Combs up, just so we will have that. Okay, so I will start off with the beginning. So I am on fox5ny.com. Okay. And the article is titled, What's Happened During the Diddy Trial, a day-by-day recap. This is updated June 6, 2025. It's by Alex Meir, Lisa Evers, and Adasia Shivan. Again, thank you for recapping the day-to-day testimony in the trial, okay? The trial of Sean Diddy Combs has already cemented itself in pop culture history with its dramatic revelations and high-profile testimonies. As the proceedings unfold in Manhattan federal court, each day brings new insights into the allegations against the former larger-than-life hip-hop mogul who faces charges of trafficking and racketeering. Here's a day-by-day recap of the trial with evidence, photos, and court sketches included. I'm going to start off. Okay. I'm going to start off from the beginning, day 1. Okay. In fact, I'm going to pull the article because I think the sketches, they're done so well. They're really graphic. I think they would be nice for you to see. So please allow me just one moment and I will have this pulled up for you to share. One moment, please. So let's go. They did such a wonderful job. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to share my screen now so you can see the imagery. Okay. Really, really nice artistry. Okay. So let's get started. Day one. Day one was May the 5th, 2025, and it was jury selection day. Okay. Jury selection began this day. It says Diddy's sex trafficking trial kicking off with jury selection. Judge Arun Subramanian briefed prospective jurors on the charges, emphasizing Combs' presumption of innocence. He told them the trial is expected to last about 8 weeks, with court sessions scheduled Monday through Friday, excluding certain holidays. So they're going to have trial Monday through Friday. That's what they anticipate. Day two, May 6, 2025, jury selection continues. By the end of day two, Judge Arun Subramanian assembled a pool of 35 potential jurors, 10 short of the needed 45 for the Diddy trial. So that's a really large number. Typically, you will have 12 impaneled jurors, and you may have some alternating jurors, the backup jurors. 45 jurors, that is pretty large, okay? Several jurors were disqualified for perceived biases and conflicts, including one man who doubted he could refrain from smoking marijuana during the trial. Combs actively engaged in the process, rising from his chair as jurors entered or exited. Despite media exposure to the infamous video of Diddy beating Cassie at an LA hotel, some jurors with strong impressions were not dismissed from the pool. So when they say Cassie, they're talking about Cassandra Ventura. That was his longtime girlfriend of about 10 years. Okay. Day three, May 7th, 2025. Jury selection continues. Two jurors were removed from Sean Diddy Combs' jury pool despite expressing a strong desire to serve due to conflicts of interest. One juror had seen a security video of Combs and initially assumed his guilt, but claimed it wouldn't bias her judgment. Another juror was an HBO employee, and the defense noted the downfall of Diddy documentary, which portrays Combs negatively, might be referenced during the trial. By the end of the day, 45 jurors remained in the pool. And I just want to check this so I can say this correctly, but I believe that Mr. Combs filed a lawsuit, okay, regarding that documentary. Let me just check that. Um, and I want to give you the number that allegedly that happened with. Okay, so no, this is different. Um, I guess I will do a short separate video on that because this is different. It was not HBO, okay? It was another major network, okay? My apologies. Let's continue on because I want to always give you accurate information, okay? Because that was the downfall of Diddy. He did not sue HBO. He actually sued a different network for a different documentary, okay? But I will do a very short video on that, okay? Just to have that in the record, okay? So moving on, day four, May 9th, 2025, jury selection delayed. Judge Subramanian ruled that Diddy was not treated differently due to his race in the racketeering and sex trafficking charges against him, rejecting a request to dismiss some charges and suppress evidence. The judge emphasized the severity of Combs' alleged criminal conduct from 2004 to 2024 rather than racial bias as the basis for the prosecution. At the hearing, Summerbrain canceled plans to finish picking the jury for the trial, saying he was worried that some jurors might get cold feet and back out of the case by Monday if they had the weekend to think about it. Wow, okay. So now we're going on to the fifth day, May 12th, 2025. So I'm going to go to a different picture. So we're just going to shoot up. Okay, let's get started. This is the jury is selected. Opening statements are made and two witnesses testify. Okay, so a lot happened on May the 12th, day number 5. The jury is selected, they're seated now. They have opening statements from the prosecution and the defense, and then they have two prosecution witnesses testify. Okay, so let's get started. Once jury selection was finalized, both parties made opening statements. Prosecutors accused Diddy of using violence and threats to coerce women into drug-fueled sexual encounters over 20 years, while Diddy's lawyers argued the case misrepresents consensual relationships as sex trafficking. Okay, so they're saying over a period of 20 years, 2 decades, Sean Combs allegedly used violence and threats to force women into drug fueled S encounters for 20 years. The defense is saying, no, that is not true. That is not accurate. You're misrepresenting the facts that this was consensual sex, consensual relationships. This was not S trafficking. And I told you guys way back when I talked about this case, that he was going to have to show, he was going to have to demonstrate that these were relationships. This was people that agreed to come together, agreed to have this adult intimacy activity, that they were not forced, that they wanted to do it. And if they were using drugs in the process, they willingly did this, okay? Let's continue. In the afternoon, the jury began hearing testimony from witnesses, including allegations of coerced S encounters involving his ex-girlfriend, R&B singer Cassie Ventura. Okay, so I think that Cassandra Ventura was the main witness, and she was going to be able to cover a big span of time during their relationship where she's alleging this X activity was happening, this drug use, this force, these acts of violence, all of that. Okay. Jurors were shown the now infamous 2016 video of Diddy kicking and dragging Cassie inside a Los Angeles hotel. The first witness, a hotel security guard, testified about responding to the incident in this video and claimed Combs attempted to silence him with a sack of money. Okay, so that's typically called bribery. Okay, and I believe no, bribery is not on my list. Okay. The second witness, Daniel Phillips, who identified as a male stripper, testified about being paid to have sex with Cassie Ventura in 2013 while Combs allegedly watched. Let me put up a warning on the video because this is very graphic, very adult content. This video is not for children, so I'm going to put viewer discretion is advised. Okay, I'm advising you now. This video is not for children. Okay, it's not for children. So viewer discretion is advised. Okay, let's continue. My apologies. Okay. The second witness, Daniel Phillips, who identified as a male stripper, testified about being paid to have sex with Cassie Ventura in 2013 while Combs allegedly watched and um, took care of himself, satisfied himself, okay? He described being hired under the guise of performing at a bachelorette party only to find Cassie in red lingerie. He testified about multiple encounters directed by Combs, who allegedly concealed his identity but was recognized by his voice. Diddy's daughters left the courtroom during Phillips' graphic testimony. So, Diddy's 3 daughters were in the courtroom at the time, and they left the courtroom during this testimony. Okay. Again, that was day 5. We're moving on now, and we're going into day 6. Day 6 was May 13th, 2025, and Cassie Cassandra Ventura, she takes the stand. Now, I will say this, she was uh, pregnant probably in her third trimester during her testimony. Okay. On day 2 of testimony, star witness Cassie Ventura testified that Sean Diddy Combs abused and coerced her into participating in freak-offs, elaborate S marathons involving male S workers during their turbulent relationship. The R&B singer described the freak-offs as drug-fueled weekly ordeals lasting up to 4 days, where she would be asked to arrange sex with strangers and engage in degrading acts as Diddy watched. She described Combs as controlling and violent, recounting a turbulent relationship marked by physical assaults and manipulation. Despite feeling objectified, Cassie said she complied with Combs' demands out of love and fear of repercussions, including threats to leak videos. So her testimony is basically this happened to her, that there were drugs, that it was S that lasted for days sometimes, that it was with strangers. These were S workers, and that she felt pressured to comply. She was being threatened that the recordings would be leaked, and she was fearful of repercussions if she didn't do it. And she also did it because she loved Sean Combs. Okay. So now we're moving on to day 7. Okay, we're going to wrap up day 7 here. Okay, I'll leave this picture up for a little bit. Day 7, May 14, Cassie's second day of testimony. During her second day of testimony, Cassie Ventura alleged that Diddy arred her after she ended their decade-long relationship and subjected her to physical abuse by threatening to release degrading S videos. Cassie described being forced into hundreds of encounters with male S workers, which Combs controlled, fearing damage to her career and family if they were made public. Okay. Prosecutors presented images from these encounters, eliciting shocked reactions from jurors. Cassie had previously sued Combs in 2023 for abuse, settling for $20 million, with numerous similar claims from other women following. Okay, so we covered that. It's going to be in the Hidden Horror playlist under Sean Combs, and that was the lawsuit against him that Cassie Ventura filed, and Mr. Combs settled that lawsuit in one day. Okay, one day. So we're going to stop here. We covered days 1 through 7. The next video will cover trial days 8 through 14. I hope this helps to kind of break it down and also be in shorter clips. I want to thank you for spending this time with me. I really, really appreciate it. And hopefully I will see you in the next install. Okay, that will be days 8 through 14. If you need any support, there are organizations out there. Please seek some assistance, some help. And stay safe, stay smart, stay savvy. Be well, all my friends. Bye, everybody.